Ladies and gentlemen, May 13th. That's right. It took us 2-3 days to find out about this. Thanks to listeners sent it to Kurt Nemo at Infowars.com, so we got it out. Representative Carolyn McCarthy introduced the No-Fly, No-Buy Act, H.R. 2401, a bill that would merge the TSA's no-fly list with the National Instant Criminal Background Check at point-of-sale system determining eligibility. Now, remember, you're not arrested, you're not indicted, you don't know where this came from. And then now they're saying a no-buy list, a no-sell list, a no-travel list. This is the global system. This is what Europe already has. This thing with Michael Savage or myself being arrested or David Icke being arrested when we go to Canada. This whole thing of peace activists not being able to get on planes. You've heard about Green Party people not being able to fly. All of this is the global model. And everybody keeps talking about the global currency. What will it look like? It's going to be your thumbprint and your face print. The UN, it's all under treaty. That's why they're phasing out cash. That's how they'll go to the new world currency instantly when they want to, because that's why your kids are thumb scanning to get their school lunches. All of this ties together. This is the secret list. And your ID card says you're out of favor. You don't travel. You don't get a job. It's all under Patriot Act compliance. So we've got the bill that we wrote about at Infowars.com a week and a half ago that Chuck Baldwin wrote about last week in his article. It's getting serious now, that gave a nice boil down of a bigger picture. And they've introduced H.R. 2159, denying firearms and explosives to terrorists. Dangerous Terrorist Act. And it says the same thing. We'll secretly put anybody and everybody in intelligence files by the tens of millions. And you're not going to have, and it's already happening. Veterans and others, we already told you 10 years ago that veterans were being barred from buying firearms with not even a misdemeanor conviction. It's happening. This isn't a game. And then on top of that, they've now released footage of the AmeriCorps chanting and marching in red uniforms trimmed with black. It is so fascist. It's so over the top. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is off the charts. Let's go to presidential candidate 2008, Chuck Baldwin, pastor, author, researcher, talk show host. Chuck Baldwin, things are getting wild. You're right when you say it's getting very serious now.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Alex, for letting me come on your show. When I wrote that, I felt that I had to get the message out to the people that are reading my columns to help them understand, as you have been trying to do for all these years, on how things really are getting serious out there, hence the title of my column. And I pointed out some of the very things that you just mentioned here at the opening of your program.
Start breaking it down. I mean, there's 3 bills that will allow them without an indictment, without arrest. I mean, that's the heart of tyranny. 3 bills to just allow bureaucrats at will secretly to take your rights, and then you can't find out how you got on there or even challenge it. Right.
Well, the bill that I specifically mentioned in my column was Peter King's bill, H.R. 2159, the Denying Firearms and Explosives to Dangerous Terrorists Act of 2009, which basically permits the Attorney General on his signature to deny transfer of a firearm to anyone that he deems to be, quote, a dangerous terrorist, close quote. Now, this is someone that is identified solely on the basis of his opinion. There's no arrest. There is no act that the person has committed. There's no charge, no sentence, no trial, no anything. Just that the Attorney General says, I believe this person is a dangerous terrorist, therefore they are not able to buy a firearm.
Or his designates, this is divine right of kings.
Correct. That's correct, or his designates, exactly right. So this is, as you say, fascism. I mean, people don't like to use that word, but the fact of the matter is this is exactly the definition. Whenever you can arbitrarily, without warrant, without cause, can deny basic rights to the citizenry, you have crossed the Rubicon, and now that you are in a country that is fascist in nature.
It's unbelievable. We all have a blind spot, Pastor Baldwin, but I have one too. I mean, I consciously, intellectually look at this, and then it hits me emotionally, and I'm not even having the response I should. We've been so marinated in tyranny. This is all off the charts.
Absolutely off the charts. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. There are people that are beginning to wake up, fortunately, to things that are happening in this regard, and I just pray that more people awaken quickly.
Pastor Baldwin, stay with us. We'll come back and talk about your website and what you're doing in the Constitution Party these days and where all of this goes. And boy, I wish we had Ron Paul, don't you, folks, as president, but instead we've got a total piece of trash. I got to be honest with the audience. Things are moving faster and are worse than I even thought they could get this quickly. I mean, we know the globalists are tyrannical, but to see in the United States bills introduced to charge you with felonies federally if you, quote, hurt someone's feelings, and to see it being introduced by prominent members of the House and racing, to see 3 bills introduced where they can secretly ban your Second Amendment. And, you know, Chuck Baldwin last week interpreted this bill and said, you know, they could use the no-fly list. They could use the MIAC report list. They could use these other lists to, and then now with the new bill, it confirms our worst fears. They say yes in H.R. 2401. If you're on any list or any database or anything, or on the no-fly list, no Second Amendment. Pastor Baldwin, you know, people accuse us sometimes of being fearmongers. No, we need people to raise the alarm. We need people to stand up and warn the public, or this is all going to make it. And then I just can't believe we're having kind of like an amalgamation of a Soviet/Nazi takeover. I mean, does it ever just stun you that this is happening?
Alex, I agree with your assessment that it's happening faster than we expected. I can tell you, I've in fact, people that are listening right now that know me and have listened to me in my comments over the last few weeks, I've said the exact same thing as you just said. You know, we anticipated some of these things to be happening over the next several months and maybe even a couple of years, but we have seen things escalate at such a rate over these last few weeks that it's really difficult to keep up with it all. I mean, I know that you are poring over all this information as you see coming in every day, 3 hours a day, and it's hard for you to keep up with it, as you just said. And I find the same thing to be true. It's happening at such a fast rate that it really is hard to get a handle on it. And I think that the American people, the ones that are beginning to wake up, the ones that are beginning to sense that things are going in the wrong direction, I believe it's kind of taking them back as well, how quickly this is happening. Now, the positive thing about it is, Alex, I do think because of your show and many other people that are out there trying to sound the alarm, whether they call us fearmongers or not, so be it. They probably said that about the committees of correspondence back in the 1700s. This is reality, and people are beginning to awaken to reality. That's the positive thing. And I think that the line is being drawn in the sand right now. And I think that people are going to have to decide, you know, what side of that line they're on. Either they believe in the Constitution, they believe in the rule of law, they believe in the fundamental principles of the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, they believe on those principles that America was founded, or they are going to willingly, of their own volition, surrender to this New World Order mindset. And I do believe that line is being drawn in the sand. And I would just like to encourage your audience out there to keep abreast of this and to recognize that what is happening quickly, and we need to be prepared for what is yet to come.
And make no mistake, this is history, and just as the enemy is moving quickly, the awakening is also accelerating, and that also takes me back. I mean, it's exciting, but when you study sociology and history and human activity, it's a very explosive situation. And, you know, I'm not some hot shot. You're not a hot shot. We're not looking for physical conflict. But unfortunately, I see in the cards, or the tea leaves, as they say, that this is going towards a collision course. There's no doubt. We've never seen an acceleration of tyranny anywhere near this. And it's clear the establishment has decided to jump. They've decided to go, total commitment. And I just hope the patriots out there know this is it. This is everything foretold, everything we've been building for, against the enemy, everything they've been building against us, all of our preparations, all of our warnings. It's clear we are entering, I believe, the battle zone. Chuck Baldwin?
Yeah, I agree, and I think the battle zone right now is with some of these state legislatures that are beginning to